Hello and welcome back to a child-friendly introduction to photography with me, Mr. Welsford. On Module 7, we are looking at flash photography today, both indoors and outdoors. Before we start, we ideally need sort of bright sunny weather outside with lots of dark shadows, or at least some shadows that we can work with to show you the effects. And also we're going to be working with other people as well, so we're going to be working in groups of 2 or possibly more depending on what's going on. So we are going to be deciding how to use the flash on our camera. If you're going to use an iPad or a phone or something like that, then the flashes are really low powered on these devices. Sometimes they don't even have one, so the effect could be minimal or maybe skip that completely. This course really looks at sort of other types of camera. Okay, so these are the different types of camera. As I said, the mobile phones and tablets, they'll have no flash, or the flash is very underpowered. The one in the top middle there, that's the kind of camera we'll be looking at using with a sort of thumbnail size flash. As you can see, other types of cameras you can put big flash guns on top of them, and they obviously give a much better result, but we're not looking at that today. We are seeing what we got with our little cameras here. So there's basically 3 settings. It will be normally on automatic, so that, as I said before, the sensor in the camera will decide how much, if there's enough light, and the flash will fire off whether it thinks that is it needs enough light or not. There's also a manual override, so you can switch it off deliberately, and there's also the opposite. We can actually force the flash on deliberately for a different reason and a different effect. Okay, so we need to be aware that the flash on your camera has quite a limited range. It's only really a short distance flash, possibly between 0.5 meter and 3 meters. Okay, it's not really that effective further than that, so need to bear that in mind. The flash also can make the pictures look a bit sort of flat and a bit sort of two-dimensional. They don't look particularly flattering. You'll see that in a minute. Can make the background go quite dark even during the daylight, and you have to get a little balance on that. So we have to have a little practice to see what works best for us. Okay, firstly, the automatic flash. The cameras are all based on averages, and sometimes you won't need it and sometimes you will need it. This is a indoor flash pictures. Obviously you need the flash for this type of picture, but it does reflect quite a lot off skin, especially the lighter the skin, the more reflection. Notice the background is darker the further away it is, and there's a big on the picture on the left, there's a big black shadow behind the girl's top right hand of the frame. Also, this is what we're going to be looking at today. If you're taking a picture with some backlighting, you're going to get a silhouette. That may be what you want. If so, fine. If not, we have to do something about it, because the camera thinks there's enough light, and we don't want that type of effect. We need to override the flash. So this is our first activity. We're going to get our subject, or our person, by possibly a window or somewhere where there's some bright light coming in behind. We're going to take a photograph with the automatic setting on, see what happens. Possibly it'll be like the pictures on the left. We're going to then go into the manual setting and switch the flash off completely, and maybe take another picture. It may make no difference whatsoever, possibly not. And then we're going to repeat for the 3rd time, this time forcing the flash on with the flash setting on, and then take the same or similar picture, and then we're going to compare the 3 pictures. 2 of them will probably be no difference, and obviously you'll be able to see which one has the flash on. You may see a little bit of flare or little white spots bouncing off the windows, so you may have to change your angle. And you may see a little tiny white dot in your person's eye. That's quite a nice little feature of flash photography. It gives a little sparkle in someone's eye, which is quite nice. Okay, for our second exercise, we are going to nip outside. Hopefully it's nice and bright and sunny. We got some nice shadows going on. We can look at those. So if you see the picture with the girl on the left, there's nice bright sunlight, which is fine, but you can see a lot of heavy dark shadows under the eyes. Is a particularly spot where you get very dark shadows, which is not very flattering at all. And then the picture on the right, we've turned the flash on, we've forced the flash to fire on the camera, and we've filled in a lot of those shadows, especially around the eyes and under the chin, and if they're wearing a hat, you know, it's going to be like that. Okay, so this is our next outdoor exercise. We're going to find our subject. We're going to take our same 3 shots. We're going to try on automatic mode. We'll probably get pictures a little bit like the ones on the left, with a dark face and a quite a bright background, because the camera will think obviously there's plenty of light, don't need flash. Then we're going to take another picture with forcing the flash off. It will probably be identical or very similar. And then we're going to take our third picture with the flash firing, and then we're going to compare the 3 pictures. Okay, the picture on the bottom does look a bit sort of very professionally done, so that's just, you just have to take that. As you can see, there's a little bit of a sparkle in the eyes there from the flash on the ones on the right. And don't forget, you've got to stay within the range of the flash. Ideally, sort of, you know, your portrait sort of distance, probably about 1.5 meters, 2 meters, something like that, give or take. Okay, so other reasons why we all need to force the flash off is if, for example, Christmas time, when there's loads of bright lights in the background and you want to capture those ambient lights, or you might be in a church or in an event where you're not allowed to use flash for various reasons, so you need to switch it off. It does kind of slow the shutter down a bit, so it might get a bit more blur than you normally would, but you just need to sort of take care of that. Other reasons why you want to deliberately not fire the flash is for creative effect like that. Silhouettes make great pictures. These are obviously very well done pictures, but you get the idea. You can use that idea in your creativity, so you know how to turn the flash on or off as you wish. Okay, I think that's the end of that. We've got plenty to get on with, so have a little practice. And obviously you may, in your travels and your journeys and through life, you might find that little tip and those little tricks about how to use the flash or how not to switch it off deliberately is very useful for you. Thanks very much, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care.